Welcome Money Finders, enriching the lives of people we touch. Top 10 money mistakes you must avoid at all costs. How to be good with your money. At some point in our lives, all of us make money mistakes. But some people make far more mistakes than others, most likely because they lack financial education. These mistakes could cost you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Here we take a look at the top 10 most common money mistakes that you should avoid at all costs. You may have already made at least one of these mistakes, but don't do it again. Steering clear of the common money mistakes will help you avoid financial hardships in the future. If you make a major financial mistake, it could take you years to fix and get back on track. These are the 10 most common money mistakes people make. Subscribe to our channel if you want to know all about financial freedom. Like to support our channel. Number 10. Making emotional investment decisions. When the market gets rocky, it's easy to feel emotional and want to bail on your investments. But this can often prove to be a mistake. It's a good reminder to check your emotions during the highs and lows of the stock market. What to do instead? Before making a hasty decision in a volatile market, take a breath and reconsider the changes you are considering making. What we always advise our viewers is to assess their risk tolerance and make sure that they are comfortable with the risk they are taking based on their goals and time horizon. Often, that means making no adjustment whatsoever to avoid reacting to market volatility. Other times, it might mean making an adjustment for an appropriate reason, like if your goal has changed or you realize your risk tolerance is different than you originally thought. Number 9. Making financial choices out of fear or pressure. Another common mistake is to make a financial choice when you are afraid or you feel a lot of pressure to act right away. When you are afraid, you may not be considering all of the options and you may end up making a costly mistake. It is important to take a step back and consider all your options. You may also want to talk the decision over with someone you trust. Another financial mistake is to give in to pressure to take a big financial step, like buying a new car, to purchasing a home, to getting married or having a child. You may not be ready for these steps, and giving into pressure will not benefit you financially. Number 8. Spending on stuff you don't need. This one is pretty simple, yet most of us keep repeating this mistake. As you know, there is a difference between need and want. Do not spend money on buying stuff, personal or household, that you want it but don't need it. A classic example would be a pair of jeans. I've had people have 10 to 15, sometimes 20 pairs of jeans, and they still want to buy more. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting not to buy clothes. All I'm saying is if you don't need that 11th or 16th pair of jeans, don't buy and save that money. Number 7. Blaming others for your lack of success. When things go wrong in life, it's easy to point the finger at others and direct blame their way, when in reality you should be pointing the finger at yourself. Just because you went to a party with your friends instead of studying doesn't mean the C+ you got on your exam is because of them. Just because you spent thousands of dollars on college or university because your parents forced you to go doesn't mean it's solely their mistake. You are ultimately in control of the decisions you make, and accepting responsibility for your actions is essential to having less regrets as you age. This also works in a positive way as well. It means picking the career you enjoy and not the one your parents expect you to enter into. It means being okay with being selfish with your time when you are driving towards your goals. When you look in the mirror, you only have yourself to answer to at the end of the day, which is why you must blaze your own path and avoid blaming anyone but yourself. Number 6. Using credit rather than cash. A number of studies have shown that people who buy stuff with credit cards usually spend 12% to 18% more than when they use cash. In addition to this, we have found that people who use credit to purchase things and then don't pay off their credit card balances every month often spend 50% more on their purchases after interest and fees are factored in. Another study out of the University of Pennsylvania showed that people who avoid impulse spending can save up to 23% on their grocery bills. So if you learn to shop with cash, you can kill two birds with one stone. 1. You won't use credit and risk getting into debt. And 2. You will protect yourself from impulse buying. Number 5. Not negotiating a salary when starting a job. Another bad financial choice is not negotiating your salary before starting a new job. Negotiating your salary is essential for two reasons. Firstly, you want to make sure you have enough money to cover basic needs like food and rent from the get-go. Secondly, negotiating your salary sets the tone of your relationship with your employer. If you go in with a really low figure, you are undervaluing your work and encouraging your employer to do the same. Number 4. Increasing debt. Debts are a major concern of an individual. How to reduce the debt is a secondary question. The primary concern should be how to keep the debt from increasing. That doesn't mean you can't have debts. Some debts help you build wealth at an early age, but too much of it can ruin your financial life. So, it is necessary for all of us to avoid increasing debt, and for that, we must develop a particular mindset. You need to figure out a deadline to make yourself debt-free and work on it. Make sure you don't spend more than you earn or earn less than you spend. Learning and evolving is the key. Number 3. Spending frivolously. People who don't have a budget tend to spend a large chunk of their monthly income on things they don't need. Maybe you spend frivolously because you want to look rich or keep up with your rich friends. Whatever your reason, spending frivolously could ruin your finances and you'd max out of your credit card before you realize. Create a budget and stick to it. Once the monthly amount allocated to eating out is over, it's over. Wait for the next month to eat out again. It's difficult and it requires some discipline, but it's necessary. Number 2. Not saving for retirement. Putting off saving for your future is a common problem. It is so very far away and there is so much to spend money on now. We tend to place a higher value on short-term than long-term benefits, even when we know the long-term is more important. Another obstacle is lack of money. Many young adults feel like they can't save enough to make a difference, but saving even a little bit matters, especially early in your career. That's because time is on your side. You have plenty of years for the power of compounding to work for you. Here is what that means. Money you invest can earn more money, and over time, those earnings can generate earnings of their own. The result is that the earlier you start saving, the less you have to save. Think about saving at least 15% of your income each year for retirement in a tax-advantaged account such as an IRA or 401k, including any match or contribution you get from your employer. If you can't get there right away, that's okay. You have the option to increase your amount annually if you can afford to do that until you reach 15%. Most people can find some extra money to save if they just pay attention to their spending. If you're lucky enough to have a 401k and get a matching contribution from your employer, contribute enough to at least capture the entire match. Otherwise, you are basically foregoing a part of your compensation. You wouldn't turn down part of your paycheck, so don't leave matching retirement account contributions on the table. Number 1. Not planning a budget. To effectively manage money, a budget is a must. You need to make sure that you spend money according to your budget. Having a budget is a necessary habit that will help you save money. For having control over the money you have, it's important that you know where the money is going so that you can plan in advance on how to spend it effectively. In fact, just having a budget will not do. You must create a budget that is convenient for you. Creating a budget is not a big task. You can follow a 50/30/20 rule that will help you in achieving your goals. This rule is quite flexible and all you need to do is follow it on a regular basis. This rule states that you must allocate 50% of your earnings for the necessities of your life, that is, housing, child's education, transportation, etc. From the remaining money, you should ideally allocate 20% to savings and investments, and the rest should be used for luxuries or lifestyle choices. This will help you track your spending on a regular basis. Bonus tip: not saving adequately. This is a major mistake that people make, and they must realize that savings are a must. One must know that life can be a bumpy ride, but wearing a seatbelt can always help when the road is steep. Follow the 20% savings rule effectively, and this might make a difference for you. Make sure you have a reality check before you start to save effectively, and for that, doing the math is a must. Bottom line: with a lesson learned or two, you can set yourself up to make progress on your financial goals this year rather than repeat common mistakes. Money finders, we hope you have enjoyed this video. Keep the discussion going in the comment section. Find us on all social media platforms, like and subscribe to support our channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Goodbye.